It's finally official. Alex Pietrangelo is on his way to Vegas. We'll discuss the contract and what is going to happen next for the Golden Knights coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. Now, as I mentioned, this is a signing we've been waiting on since Free Agent Frenzy has begun. It is finally official. Former St. Louis Blues captain Alex Pietrangelo is officially now a member of the Vegas Golden Knights. He has signed a 7-year contract, which is the maximum he could do with a new team, valued at $8.8 million per season. He also gets a full no-move clause with that. And there is a mixture of signing bonuses and salary in there as well, which is something that the Blues apparently would not offer, the signing bonuses or the full no move, I believe, is what I had heard in different reports and speculation there. So clearly Vegas was willing to pay more and offer those other incentives that he really wanted to have included in his contract. So obviously they won him out. Now obviously this is going to have huge repercussions though for the team, because clearly they're in a situation where they're now way over the salary cap. They're within that 10% that you're allowed to go over during the offseason, so they're fine for right now. But obviously they've had a lot of trade talk and a lot of rumors around different players, and maybe even by the time I'm done doing this video, if not later today, tomorrow, sometime real soon, there's a lot of different players in play. As we know, we heard reports yesterday that Nate Schmidt was extremely close to being traded on multiple occasions with a few different teams in play. I know Florida was one of them. I believe Winnipeg was one, and there was a couple others too that were involved in those discussions. We've heard before that at one point they were having conversations around several players, including Max Pacioretty. His name was out there. Riley Smith was out there. Obviously, we know Marc-Andre Fleury's been out there for some time, but obviously that's a tough contract to move. Jonathan Marchessault's name's been mentioned as well. Alec Martinez. And we've even heard reports today that a lot of the veteran players on the Golden Knights are not pleased with how this has been handled internally. They're not happy about how things have been handled at all. I'm sure they will not have any issues being teammates with the new signing here, Alex Pietrangelo. Nothing personal to him. I'm sure they'd love to have him join the team, but at the same time, you know, there's all kinds of rumors about who's going out. Obviously, probably, I guess, the communication between the players, their agents, and management. I don't know. We know the Golden Knights and McPhee and McCrimmon, they are not afraid to be shrewd business people. At the end of the day, their job is to make this team the best it can be, and they are not afraid to sacrifice any kind of personal relationships to make that happen. Like, they're there for the business side only, and we've seen it firsthand. Like when they fired Gerard Gallant, obviously Marc-Andre Fleury suddenly becomes a backup, and all the talk around him. Like, they're in it to win it. They're not there, for anything else. Like, at the end of the day, it's a business, and they treat it very seriously that way, which they should. They're not saying anything bad against it, but clearly Vegas right now has a lot of balls in the air, and I think the most likely player to be traded in short term here would be Nate Schmidt, but Schmidt's contract alone is not going to be enough to get them to be cap compliant. So we're probably going to see a couple of scenarios unfold unless they move a bigger name. Like I said, Pacioretty's a name that was seriously out there and garnering interest. Same with Fleury. If either of those contracts could be moved, that would get it done. But they may not be able to move either of those without retaining some salary, especially in Fleury's case. Pacioretty, maybe, but there's just not a lot of teams out there with the space to take it on. So that's an issue. So we'll see what Vegas does, but they're bound to be busy. Like I said, I would not be surprised if a trade happens, even as early as by the time I'm done making this video. If not here, whether it be tonight, tomorrow, sometime in the next week. Like, they can't wait too long, because the longer they wait to get a deal done, then that's just going to mean that there's going to be other teams filling out their rosters. There's going to be less options available, and they could end up screwing themselves in the long run here. So they don't want to do that. So we'll see what happens. But as far as the contract goes to Alex Pietrangelo, this is a big-time contract. It's a lot of money, but he's one of the top defensemen in the game. He's a right shot. He's very offensive. Great leader. Obviously has a Stanley Cup championship here on his resume now, which is obviously huge, especially for a team that's been getting closer and closer to winning a cup. Went to the finals in their first year. So I think the fit there will be great. Can you imagine maybe Pietrangelo playing with Shea Theodore as your top pair? That's certainly an intriguing thought. Overall, the Golden Knights will be better on the blue line, but I'm not sure that they're really going to be better overall, because it really boils down to who they have to move out. They need that balance. They still need a top center iceman. In my opinion, they do not have a true 1C, and that's a problem. They have great goaltending. They have a pretty solid blue line. The blue line's been getting better, especially with this new addition here. And overall, like I said, I like their bottom six. I like the fact that their top six is pretty good too. But having a true number one center, and they may have that in Cody Glass. It's going to be a little while here before we see how much that prospect develops into what he's going to become, because he hasn't had a huge amount of NHL time here as of yet. But the first ever draft pick in Vegas history could turn out to be that player. So we will see what happens here with the Vegas Golden Knights, but I'd love to know your thoughts on the contract for Pietrangelo. Is it a good contract? Is it fair? Are the Golden Knights going to be a better team? Are they closer to winning the Stanley Cup than before? I know that might be tough to answer, but with what's speculated to likely go out, let me know your thoughts and we'll discuss further, because it's certainly an intriguing concept here. I mean, obviously having that top right shot, leadership quality defenseman with the Stanley Cup on his resume, I understand the intrigue. I understand the appeal. I just don't know that they're 100% like all that better than they were before, but they were really good before too. So how do you go about doing this? But if you weaken other areas, it's just so hard to say. So let me know what you think and we'll discuss further down in the comments. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future content, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.